Hello everybody, it's Starrapter here, and I'm so glad you could join me for my spoiler-free review of Star Wars Cobalt Squadron. This is written by Elizabeth Wein, and it follows the adventures of Rose and Paige, Tiko, and the rest of Cobalt Squadron, who are this group of Resistance bombers, and their first mission is to go and scout out this First Order activity, because in the timeline of Star Wars, this is actually before The Force Awakens, so there's kind of a Cold War going on between both factions. Neither of them wants to fire first for fear of getting into an all-out war. So they're kind of going and exploring this system, and they come across that there are these people that are native on the planet that are trying to escape, and they do manage to escape, and then it gets the Resistance more into the conflict of this planet. They need to get help down to this planet, and that's kind of where this entire conflict of this book comes into play. So getting into the positives of this novel, things I really enjoyed is, first off, the amount of detail and depth we get into the character of Rose Tiko. So she is a character that I really enjoyed coming out of The Last Jedi. She's got a lot of this humor, a lot of this optimism, which is just very fresh. And I think Elizabeth Wein does an incredible job with really transitioning that character from the screen to the pages of this book. Another thing I really enjoyed is the relationship between Rose and Paige, and that is really the cornerstone of this entire book, is really getting to know their relationship. I mean, we see a little bit of them in The Last Jedi, but as far as this book, it does a great job of preparing for us what we see in the movie. And I like how this whole book kind of revolves around pairs. So a lot of the times they talk about their home world, which was a pair of planets. Then they go to this other new system where their main mission is, and that's a pair of planets. And there's just a lot of things talking about pairs, about twins, stuff like that. So it really kind of pulls everything together. And the dynamic between Rose and Paige is great, because Rose is like she's more of the comedic relief a lot of times, and Paige is more of just the logical one, and they kind of need each other, and they kind of grow with each other throughout this book. Something else I really did enjoy is how well Elizabeth Wein writes what the Resistance bombers are doing. I know she's a pilot herself, so she's actually able to create a lot of these dynamic battles that are going on and different things like that, because I really like the Resistance bombers coming out of this book. I want to buy one of the Lego sets. They sound so cool. So besides bombs, they dropped other things like drones. They can drop drones to survey the area. They also drop supplies, medicine and ammunition, stuff like that. So they're very versatile. And I felt almost like a Firefly-esque vibe with the crew working together. So pretty cool there. And final last thing I want to talk about is the connections between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. So you actually are able to witness from Rose and Paige's point of view events that are happening into The Force Awakens, and you can actually transition into The Last Jedi by the end of the book, which really is going to affect the way I actually see The Last Jedi differently the next time I watch it. So getting into the negatives, I will say that the plot is pretty much surface level. Again, this is a young reader novel, so you can't really expect too much of complexity, but there wasn't really that many surprises, which made the reading somewhat boring for the most part. Another thing I would have liked to see them spend more time on this book is how Rose and Paige actually got to Resistance, because they spent about a paragraph on it, and it really just needed to be more fleshed out, because to me it was very fascinating, that backstory. Something else I want to mention is just the lack of character development and character appeal of everybody else that was part of Cobalt Squadron. I mean, we got a couple names there, and that was pretty much it. There wasn't a lot of specifics said about the other characters, and it's called Cobalt Squadron, not Tiko Sisters. So they did a great job with the sisters, and they kind of left everything else by the wayside. So with that being said, I'm going to give Cobalt Squadron a score of a 7 out of 10. If you just got done watching The Last Jedi and you really like Rose Tiko's character, you're definitely going to want to check this one out. Or if you like the Resistance Bomber, I would also recommend this book. But if you expect a lot more development from the Resistance side or the First Order, you might find this book a bit lacking. So that's going to do it for my review of Cobalt Squadron. But I want to hear what you guys thought of it. So let's talk about this book in the comment section below. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I have plenty of other Star Wars content right now on the channel. I have my reaction with spoilers to The Last Jedi, so you'll definitely want to make sure that you check that out. And please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any other content that I upload weekly on the channel concerning Star Wars. So that's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.